Well, now, welcome back to the deep dive, y'all. Here in our neck of the woods, and really across this wide world, the struggle against cancer. Well, it's a challenge that weighs heavy on many a heart. Every single day, good folks, dedicated scientists, doctors too, they're working tirelessly, searching for treatments that aren't just powerful, but that truly work, in harmony with our body's own God-given healing mechanisms.
Hmm.
There's a real pressing need for approaches that respect the whole person, not just aim to wage war on a disease. And that, dear listeners, that leads us right into today's deep dive. We're going to be unpacking some, well, truly insightful research. It's not from a single study today, but from a thoughtful blog post. It's titled Excerpts from Ivermectin and Fenbendazole. New Cancer Treatment Research. Comes from Internal Healing and Wellness, MD, published back on December 3, 2024. This post, you see, it kind of synthesizes and interprets various scientific findings, gives a practitioner's perspective on a fascinating protocol. We're talking about a combination. Ivermectin, fenbendazole, and then a trio of natural compounds, vitamin E, curcumin, and CBD, all within the landscape of cancer care. Our mission here, right here in Overton County, Tennessee, is to truly understand the synergy behind these elements and how they align with what they call a functional medicine approach. So settle in, because we're about to explore some compelling possibilities. Let's dig into this research and see what it might truly mean for the future of supportive cancer care right here in our community. Now, here's where it really gets compelling, I think. The blog post we're looking at today starts by focusing on ivermectin and fenbendazole. Now, most folks, and I'll include myself not too long ago, know these as antiparasitic drugs, right? Usually for livestock or maybe folks with certain infections. But it's certainly striking, isn't it, how these compounds, traditionally known for one thing, are now being explored with such earnestness in the complex world of cancer care. What's the insight here?
It really is. It's a remarkable example of scientific serendipity, maybe, and just persistent inquiry. What's truly insightful, as the various studies referenced in the blog post reveal, is the combined effect. The combined effect of these two compounds. When used together, they don't just act as, single agents. They demonstrate a kind of multimodal potential, modulating key cancer pathways, supporting the body's natural healing mechanisms, multiple intricate levels. It's less like a solo performance, more like you said, a carefully orchestrated chamber ensemble.
Your chamber ensemble. I like that image. Yeah.
Each instrument playing its part, creating a larger unified impact.
Okay. So from the research that's being synthesized here, what were the most significant findings about this specific combination? What did they really start to see?
Well, let's try and lay out the essence of what's been gathered.
Okay.
The research really highlights three crucial areas. Firstly, there's significant immune system modulation.
Okay, immune system.
Right. The protocol seems to prime the body's innate and adaptive immune systems, potentially enhancing the activity of, say, natural killer cells, NK cells, and improving antigen presentation. This effectively sharpens the immune system's ability to detect and, target neoplastic cells. For any of you out there, an immune system that's well-tuned, that's your body's frontline defense, especially critical in both preventing and responding to cancer.
Makes sense. Absolutely critical.
Secondly, a strong emphasis was placed on cellular repair.
Repairing cells.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This combination actively worked to mitigate the cellular damage that often precedes or contributes to cancer progression. Think of it like a meticulous, continuous maintenance crew, actively mending, restoring the integrity of cells that might otherwise go awry.
That's a helpful way to picture it.
And thirdly, and this is truly fundamental, notable anti-cancer activity was observed. Together, ivermectin and fenbendazole showed a capacity to limit cancer cell proliferation. For instance, some research suggests ivermectin might inhibit something called PA1 signaling. That's a pathway crucial for cancer cell growth.
Sure.
While fenbendazole, it's known to disrupt microtubule formation, basically halting cell division.
Wow.
So this multi-pronged action, it dramatically enhanced the effectiveness of the treatment approach outlined.
That is a compelling set of observations, truly. But the strategy didn't stop with just those two compounds, did it? Seems like they brought in some powerful natural allies, too.
Precisely. Yeah, this is where the concept of an integrated strategy really comes into its own. The effects we just discussed were further fortified, amplified even, by adding that trio of natural compounds, vitamin E, curcumin, and CBD.
Okay, the trio.
And this synergy, it isn't accidental. Each one contributes uniquely. Vitamin E, for instance, it's a powerful lipid-soluble antioxidant. It integrates into cell membranes, enhances protection against oxidative stress, lipid peroxidation. things particularly relevant in cancer progression,
Right.
curcumin, that golden spice, it's known for its multifaceted anti-inflammatory and cell cycle modulating properties, influences numerous signaling pathways.
Mm-hmm.
And CBD, cannabidiol, it contributes to immune balance, helps manage inflammatory responses, and can offer support in, alleviating discomfort. These aren't just random additions. They're well-researched compounds that create a robust, multi-pronged support system around the main protocol, addressing the inherent complexities of cancer biology from, several angles at once.
That deepens my understanding considerably. It really does underscore that you can't tackle a complex problem like cancer with just one single tool, can you?
No, absolutely not.
You need a well-equipped toolkit and a smart strategy. So building on that idea, that multifaceted approach, what does all this mean for a patient seeking care? Maybe right here in Crossville or down the road in Gainsborough. How do these findings actually get translated into practice?
That's the key question, isn't it? If we connect this to the broader picture of patient care, this research aligns perfectly with the principles of functional medicine.
Functional medicine, okay.
Right. In the context of cancer, functional medicine specifically looks beyond just the tumor itself. It tries to identify systemic imbalances, things like chronic inflammation, nutrient deficiencies, maybe gut dysbiosis, things that might be creating an environment where cancer can grow.
So the root causes.
Exactly. Addressing those upstream factors and optimizing the body's intrinsic healing capabilities rather than just targeting the disease symptoms. It's a holistic, personalized approach, much like what this study and practitioner behind the blog post really advocates for.
So how does functional medicine specifically support cancer care, drawing from what this synthesized research is telling us?
Well, there are a few critical ways it weaves these findings in. First, through immune optimization.
Back to the immune system.
Absolutely. Strengthening your immune system is central to any comprehensive functional medicine protocol. The study's emphasis on boosting the immune system's ability to detect and fight cancer cells. That perfectly mirrors functional medicine's belief in giving the body the best chance to heal itself, whether for prevention or during recovery.
Okay, that makes sense. What else?
Then we have personalized treatment plans. This is paramount.
Right, no one size fits all.
Definitely not. Functional medicine means tailoring protocols precisely to each patient's unique biological fingerprint, their specific situation. This could mean incorporating research-backed therapies like Ivermectin and Fenbendazole, alongside carefully considered dietary interventions, lifestyle adjustments, advanced targeted supplements. It's about crafting a bespoke roadmap for each individual.
A personalized map, I like that.
And finally, synergistic interventions. Just as this research highlights the power of vitamin E, curcumin, CBD working together.
The trio again.
Right, working together to enhance the main protocol. Functional medicine thrives on these kinds of integrated solutions. It's about combining therapies to boost overall effectiveness and support whole-body healing, recognizing that the sum can be, greater than its parts. And always, patient safety is paramount. Any treatment plan, especially one involving powerful compounds like these, needs thorough monitoring for efficacy.
Constant checking and adjusting.
Exactly, with adjustments made as needed, just as, Dr. Khan ensures in the source material we're looking at.
It really underscores the complexity, doesn't it? What's your take on why a multi-compound approach like this seems to be gaining traction compared to maybe more traditional single-target therapies?
That's an excellent question. And I think it speaks to cancer's inherent adaptability, its cleverness, if you will.
Right.
A single-target therapy, while it can be powerful, sometimes leads to resistance. Or it just might not address all the myriad mechanisms cancer employs to survive and grow.
It finds a way around it.
Often, yes. So a multi-compound approach, particularly one integrating repurposed drugs with known mechanisms and natural compounds that support cellular health and immune function, it offers a broader attack surface. It's about creating an environment where cancer cells struggle to thrive and where the body's own natural defenses are optimally supported. This integrative model, the one outlined in our source, it combines those functional medicine principles with cutting-edge research to build that comprehensive strategy.
So how does that look practically?
Well, it often begins with advanced diagnostics, not just the basic tests, but comprehensive evaluations, biochemistry, immune health, detailed cancer profiling, all to enable precise, individualized treatment plans.
Really drilling down.
Absolutely. These are then followed by personalized wellness plans. And these are far from generic. They fold in nutrition, exercise, stress management, immune-supporting therapies, all tailored specifically to the patient. They also emphasize integrative therapies, thoughtfully combining both conventional medicine and functional medicine for a balanced, multifaceted approach. Use the best tools you have.
Makes sense.
And all of this is underpinned by continuous monitoring, regular evaluation, adjustments, all to ensure optimal outcomes. It's an ongoing process.
And for any of our listeners, y'all, who might want to dig even deeper into this, the blog post itself points to a relevant studies and resources section. It's got references to places like PubMed, NIH, even the Korean Journal of Veterinary Research. That truly shows the breadth of the underlying research, doesn't it?
It really does. It shows this isn't just coming out of nowhere.
Right. And it even mentions things like the Joe Tippin's Fenbendazole protocol and something called the Ruby protocol, which includes fenbendazole, ivermectin, dietary considerations, supplements. And it even notes its application for our beloved furry friends, our pets.
Yes, that's quite interesting too.
It just goes to show you how much exploration and investigation is happening with these compounds across different fields. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, my friends, the key takeaway here, it really seems to be the potential. The potential for a truly synergistic, integrative approach to cancer care. We're talking about using a thoughtful combination of, yes, repurposed drugs like ivermectin and fenbendazole alongside those powerful natural compounds. This synthesized research, it offers new avenues for hope and for further exploration for anyone out there seeking supportive cancer therapies. Now, as we consider all we've discussed today, here's something to ponder. If traditionally known antiparasitic drugs combined with common supplements like vitamin E, curcumin, CBD, if they can show such surprising potential when studied together, well, what other existing compounds or natural elements might be waiting to be rediscovered or reimagined in the ongoing fight against complex diseases? It truly opens up the mind to possibility, doesn't it?
It certainly does. Makes you wonder what else is out there.
Yeah. So if this information resonates deeply with you or perhaps with a loved one right here in Overton County or wherever you might be listening, don't you hesitate. Don't hesitate to take the next step. Investigate research-driven cancer care. Consult with trusted, knowledgeable healthcare professionals. Explore integrative, patient-centered care that truly aligns with the latest advancements. There's real hope out there, folks, and people are doing amazing, dedicated work. We truly hope this deep dive has given y'all some valuable nuggets of knowledge, maybe sparked some new questions in your own health journey. We love hearing from you, so please, if you're enjoying our deep dives, hit that like button, leave us a comment, let us know what you think. And make sure to subscribe so you don't miss a single episode. Until next time, keep that curiosity burning brightly in your heart. May peace and health find their way to every soul listening today. And a special shout out to all of you, our wonderful listeners, for joining us. Y'all stay well, and we'll catch you on the flip side.